The prosecution has rested its case in the trial of 3 former Memphis police officers charged in the beating death of Tyre Nichols. It's day 3 of the trial of Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith. WREG's April Thompson is live at the Criminal Justice Center covering this trial. And April, now it's up to the former officers' attorneys to put on their case, right?
That's right, Alex. The defense attorneys now putting on their witnesses, but not before those defense attorneys actually called for an acquittal in this case. Let me tell you what happened there. They're saying that with the evidence that has been presented by the state, there is no proof that these officers that would allow this jury to determine that these officers are guilty, saying these officers were just confining a fleeing suspect. They said instead, no one knew what Emmett Martin was going to do. He is the one who actually struck Nichols. No one knew what he was going to do. And they also didn't know his mental state. Now, you'll remember Martin is the other officer, one of the other officers charged in this case. He's taken a guilty plea. Now, we did hear him testify in the federal case, but he was not called in this state case. The judge listened to all that these defense attorneys had to say. And he said a jury can make a decision from the video that they've been looking at and determine if these officers, what their involvement was and what their actions were. He denied that motion for acquittal. So back to these witnesses. The prosecution called just 5 over the last 3 days. The one on the stand the longest today was the medical examiner, Dr. Marco Ross. He did the autopsy on Tyre Nichols. He described Tyre Nichols' injuries, saying they were consistent with the type you get from a car accident or a high fall. They again played that video of Tyre being punched and kicked in the head. He said those type of kicks can cause damage to the brain tissue.
Primarily, all of the in blows that he received or from the other individuals. He received blows to the back and to the arms that would account for some of the bruising, as well as the areas of hemorrhaging that we saw deep in the muscular tissues during the autopsy. And then the impacts to the head and both some kicking and fist punching of the head that caused direct impacting to the brain, which would lead to bruising of the brain surfaces, as well as some of those blows did result in sort of these twisting maneuvers of the head that would have resulted in the torsional injuries that we saw within the brain.
And right now we are hearing from the defense witnesses, but actually some of the defense witnesses had not even made it here to court. And that is because the defense attorneys thought that the prosecution would go a lot longer, maybe until the end of the week. But that didn't happen. We will bring you more of what those defense witnesses have to say, including a TBI agent who is now on the stand. And he's also talking about what was found in Tyre Nichols' car that night. We'll have that for you coming up on News Channel 3 at 5. Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.